Hey Aries, welcome to your New Year's reading for your transition from 2021 into 2022. I hope you guys are doing great. We're going to start by pulling a couple of oracle cards to see what energies are surrounding this reading for you guys right now. And the first card that we have out for you is Yin. Let's see what else we have for my Aries collective. And we have fulfillment. So I'm going to say, like, from the start, Aries, that the energy that I'm feeling right now is incredibly peaceful. It's incredibly relaxed and very, like, no problems. Like, it doesn't feel like there are any troubles ahead. So looking at the energy that's surrounding this reading for you guys right now, we have Yin, which is the female energy, right? That's that feminine divine. And we also have fulfillment. So there's this sort of sense of you sort of tapping into your feminine or emotional self to get to where it is that you want to be in life, to get to a place where you are utterly and completely just content with everything that's going on. It might feel, I don't want to say a little bit uncomfortable, but if you haven't been accustomed to tapping into your sort of emotional self and maybe figuring out where your passions lie in this world, then it can feel a little bit different. But I'm feeling like that's what's necessary for you to get to this next step. All of these things that you've sort of envisioned for yourself, this ultimate life fulfillment, is going to be gained from you sort of more following your passion as opposed to logic and strategy. But we'll see what the tarot says. And we are going to start by pulling a card to see what your biggest lesson was in 2021. What was the biggest lesson for my Aries collective? And we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is a card of working. This is sort of the card of perfecting your craft. This is someone who is very diligent in how they move through life, right? They're not going to do anything sort of half-assed, that they are willing to put in the effort. Let's see if we can clarify that a little bit further for you. Let's see if we can clarify the biggest lesson for my Aries collective. We have the Ten of Wands. So now this makes a little bit of sense. So I think the biggest lesson for you is that pushing non-stop and not making room to sort of enjoy life, enjoy the process, it wears on you after a while. And so I just heard all work, no play. So it feels like, Aries, that the biggest lesson that you may have taken away from 2021, or might think about taking away from 2021, is that your life has to have some level of balance. That it's not sustainable for you to just continue working, grinding, and not making time for yourself, not making time for things that are enjoyable for you. That I think the biggest lesson is that life is not all about working. It's not all about pushing for you. So the biggest achievement that you have from 2021 is the Queen of Cups. And I think that there is this realization that's come in, is that you sort of need to love the life that you're in, that you need to show that sort of love to get it back. And I don't necessarily know that you were doing that towards yourself or towards your own life. Everything was about work. It doesn't feel like there was a ton of joy that was associated with this. It feels as though it was just this sort of constant grind. And so it feels as though your biggest achievement was kind of snapping out of that energy and realizing that there's more than just work. We're not going to take all of those cards. That there was something that you would find pleasure in outside of what it is that you were spending so much time on. And we have the King of Pentacles. So, you know, I think that you're starting to find that, and I don't necessarily think that this has completely happened right now, but it feels as though you're starting to come into that awakening moment, that period of realization where it's like, I can do something that I love and sustain myself. So I don't know if, you know, maybe it's a situation where you're, you know, a very creative mind, right? And somehow you end up like as something that's a little bit more straightforward, like maybe, you know, like you're a librarian or something like that. Like there's not a whole lot of opportunity to express your creativity. So, or, you know, sort of embrace what it is that you actually want to do in life. So it feels as though, you know, your biggest accomplishment right now going into 2022 is sort of figuring out how it is you can do what you love in a way that's also able to support and sustain you, if that makes any sense. Okay, so we have two cards that came out for what you're leaving behind in 2021. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and we also have the Two of Pentacles. And so it feels like with this energy that what you're leaving behind is sort of waiting, right? You're sort of where you've sort of planted the seeds and you're kind of, you know, waiting for them to almost excite you. It doesn't feel as though what you've done up until this point, and I feel like this has a lot to do with career or how it is that you earn money, Aries, but it feels as though you've sort of been waiting for that spark, that lightning moment where you kind of love what it is that you do, and it never came. And so I feel like for a while you've been on the fence trying to figure out whether or not you can move in a different direction, whether or not you can actually make this pivot to doing something it is that you love that will also make sure that you still have the ability to take care of yourself. It feels as though you're leaving that behind, that you are embarking on a new journey towards something that actually brings you joy, something that you look forward to, something that excites you, something that's going to make you much more fulfilled than what it is you're doing right now. So let's see what you can expect in 2022. We have the Four of Cups in reverse. So upright, this is pretty much a card of rejection, right? This is someone who is utterly and completely bored with their options. They don't want anything to do with them. They just kind of toss that cup over the side. I don't think, you know, when we have this in reverse for you, Aries, this is you embracing. So what you can expect is an offer that comes in this cup that you're not going to reject. There's going to be an opportunity, I think, that comes towards you that you're excited about, that you think you're going to love, that's going to be good for you. And it's something that you are going to accept. You're not going to turn it away. And so what we have in terms of the challenge that you might face, we have the Knight of Wands that came in upright. So it feels as though there's a little bit of a need for balance for you, Aries, in that it's like, okay, don't get carried away with this, right? Do not get carried away with this opportunity. Yes, it is something that's coming in that you are going to enjoy. Yes, it's something that you're going to be passionate about, but it feels as though Spirit is cautioning you not to let the pendulum swing too far in the other direction, where you're coming out of this energy where it was constant grind and constant work. It feels like Spirit is saying, don't let that be the case for this. Don't let your passion turn into something that feels like a burden. Don't let it turn into something that feels like work. So Spirit is like all about you finding your balance right now. This is you sort of being in that place of not sort of viewing it as work, right? In that sort of day-to-day slog, but not getting so caught up in the passion of it all that you can't be effective. So there's a need, I think, for you to find a little bit of balance in that situation. So the overall theme that we have this year for you, Aries, we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So upright, the Three of Pentacles is all about teamwork. It's all about partnership. So let's see if we can clarify, because you got a little bit of a lone wolf situation type going on right now. And it's clarified by the Four of Swords in reverse. So we have two cards that that are reversed. We have the Three of Pentacles that sort of indicates that this is a bit of a solo endeavor for you. And we also have the Four of Swords in reverse. Upright, this is a card of rest, relaxation, rejuvenation. And so it feels like the theme for this year for you is movement. That this is something that it doesn't feel like there's going to be a lot of other people sort of involved in your choice, in your new path moving forward. This is a situation, I think, where you're going to have to sort of honor yourself and what it is that you're looking for. But this is very much a time for you, a year of you for action, for moving forward and doing it for yourself, not for anyone else, and sort of irregardless of what other people say as well. So, okay, advice from Spirit. We have the Sun in reverse, and we also have the World upright. So I feel like Spirit is saying with these two cards that without some important changes, you're not going to achieve that happiness, that fulfillment that you were looking for. So being open to change right now is a good thing, right? But Spirit is saying, don't get too swept up in the excitement of everything. Make sure that you remain grounded. But Spirit is saying, get ready for some changes to come your way. Get ready to take action. Get ready to move forward. If you don't, and I don't think that you are going to stay stagnant, it feels as though you're ready to move forward. But Spirit is saying that there's a good opportunity that you may miss out on if you don't accept the changes that are coming towards you. If you don't sort of accept, wow, we are not taking all of those cards. Jeez, Aries. Okay. we're gonna try and reset real quick. That threw me off. It's this interesting feeling that I'm having right now. It's a little bit of trepidation. It's a little bit of sort of being cautious, and I wish I could put it into words. I hope that you're not nervous about this opportunity, Aries, that's coming in for you. Again, I feel like Spirit is just saying, make sure that you temper yourself. Just don't get carried away, because this opportunity is sort of exciting. It is an opportunity, I think, that you were looking for. It's something that's going to make you extremely happy, but Spirit is saying just try and maintain your balance. So looking at heavens, your final message from the tarot, and looking at the transition from 2021 into 2022, we have Judgment, and we also have the King of Swords in reverse. So again, I feel like, the King of Swords upright is someone who is very cutting. They're very logical thinkers, right? And so I think that you, again, are releasing sort of this masculine energy and stepping into this feminine energy where you're doing much more to honor yourself, honor the things that you want. And so I think that you're going to make that decision, right? You're going to go in with a certain level of conviction that you want to do more with your life than what it is that you're doing right now, where you are embracing new opportunities and things like that. So I feel like there's a little bit of nervousness that's happening, but I do think that ultimately there's going to be a decision made on your part that you're going to move towards having things and people in your life that feed your spirit, that are much more fulfilling than what you've previously had in your energetic space. So there's good movement here, but it's sort of up to you, Aries, whether or not this is something that you want to embrace, whether or not this is something that is worth it to you, right? Not, quote, working so hard, but doing something that you love and still being able to support yourself, to keep yourself. So the first card that we have out to wrap up is, my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. And let's see if we can pull another. And then we also have wake up call. So again, I feel like you're going to reach a point, Aries, where you understand that all work, no play is not a good place for you to be in, right? So there might be a bit of a quickening moment that brings you to that level of awareness faster than what you've been having right now. But there needs to be a little bit of movement and work on your part, right? So if you want to change your external, if you're not being fulfilled by what it is that you're doing right now, then you have to get into that space of knowing what it is that is going to make you happy, and then starting to take the steps towards that. So this is all about determination and movement, right? Being very strong in your convictions. So again, the Queen of Cups, the King of Pentacles, those achievements that you've had, starting to look at things from a much more emotional perspective rather than a logical perspective. If it hasn't happened just yet, it will very, very shortly. But you're going to start seeing things differently, and you're going to start pursuing those things that serve you, that make your heart happy, that make you fulfilled. And I think that that's going to be a result from you getting honest about what it is that you truly want and how you want to feel when you're on your way getting there. So Aries, I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that this resonated. If it did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. But in the meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you all huge hugs.